Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Winner Circle Sports Betting Podcast. I'm your host, Sean Higgs, coming at you here. It's Monday, November the 18th. Chip Chirimbes, Doug Upstone, as always, join me here on our Money Mondays. Welcome on into the show. Hit the like button, notification bells, all that good stuff so you know when we post up the free pick videos here. Monday through Saturday, free picks. Although Friday is not really a free pick show. It's a live show, but it's a video, right, to say the least, here on the YouTube channel. Be part of the Winning Circle family. Like button, notification bell, leave comments, follow on the Twitter X world. What are you waiting for? Be part of the family here. These are free picks. Last week, not a good one. 1 and 3 on the video. More because I took a first half of the first quarter. I ended up splitting on that. 4, 5, and 1 with our NBA. We got to do better, absolutely. But these are free picks. The premium stuff at gamblersWORLD.net, where Doug Upstone on a monster 20-12 run on the ice, 10-4 in college hoops. Chip Chirimbes has just been crushing him with his top A-play games, I believe. They're the 5 and 10 stars up over $5,300. And I'm not too shabby either. College hoops, 59%, 54 and 38. College football, 79 and 60, which sounds pretty good, 57%. You know, I'm not even in the top 3 because I got like Brian Biller, 53 and 38, and Kyle Hunter. They're the top 2 there. We get to rate our plays. I'm more – if you see the volume of my plays, I think college basketball goes to this guy next to me. I have 100 games bet. They have like 19. So slight difference on volume why I keep it simple. But there's a leaderboard for the premium stuff on Gamblers World. $99. I just mentioned college hoops. Doug's hot. I'm hot. Chip's hot. You look at the leaderboard. $99 for 7 days of plays. Can't beat that. And always 3 7 30-day packages are guaranteed. We show you a profit or credit you back. And you run through the circle again and we try to get you the money. But honestly, on a 7 or 30-day package, you're going to make money over a course of a month. 3 days, it's hit or listen, it's betting. We don't have great sports almanac. We're not Biff Tannen at Biff's Pleasure Palace with everything printed out for us. We can lose. It happens. But
it's called gambling, Sean.
It's gambling, not stealing, right, Chip? And listen, another weekend in the books. A crazy one in Sunday Night Football last night. I actually went down. How about I had a Dobbins under 51.5 rushing attempts. He had 26 yards. Then a 29-yard scamper. They can't tackle the guy. They can't tackle the guy for anywho. Crazy weekend. The Chiefs finally lose. We don't have to worry about them being undefeated and when they're going to go down. What else? Anything good? Georgia in college football looks to be maybe getting back to what they're doing. But how was your weekend, Chip, over? Anything you saw this weekend? Anything else?
I'm on a nice little run in the NBA, 8 out of the last 10. My mega bucks on Saturday was Georgia. Had a great day in college football. Yesterday, stubbed my toe at my top play. But, this Thursday night, Sunday night, and Monday night game, like there's one tonight, and I have it up there. I'm 17 and 8 on the year on those standalone games. Not when there's 2 games out there, just when there's one NFL game. And tonight I have a pretty good play. But the basketball's been coming along. I'm 7 and 3 in college overall. And in the NBA, we're 4-0 with our mega buck winners. Those are our single strongest plays each and every day. So coming along with it, the season's changed. We went through that period where we had baseball, basketball, football, hockey, pros, college. And it gets kind of daunting over a while. I don't know how you do it, Doug, when you're dealing hockey as well. It's just so much information to have to really, people don't understand, I think, the kind of time that we have to put into this before we get here and just in 2 minutes say something, give you an evaluation of a game. And yet the time we spend there, I don't think it's reflected. I don't think people realize. And Doug, I don't know how you do hockey. I really can't believe you're doing it.
It's something I've always liked to do, and I forget when I first took it. It wasn't initially something I took. Oh, I know when it was, but and it doesn't matter. But it's been good. And the thing that's interesting to me about hockey, at least, and maybe Sean has an opinion on this too, is that it really it changes fairly dramatically. Okay, and there's been rule changes and things that have changed, that have altered things, and so it's made for some interesting things. You got to just really kind of look at differently than what you just did, and so whatever success you might have had, all of a sudden something flips, and you got to roll with it. Yeah, go ahead,
Sean. If you don't mind, Doug, do you find yourselves playing totals in hockey, or is it mostly just sides?
It's all with rare exception. It's always sides on that, except for today because I got my total for the week going today. As a matter of fact,
see there, I got you.
there's one thing. Yeah. So I'm not a big totals player in general, and for any number of different reasons. But yeah, mostly sides, and just I don't know, just how that goes. I mean, sometimes you run into things, you just get going well on something, and sometimes it lasts all year with a few speed bumps, and sometimes it doesn't. But right now, kind of just in a nice group.
Yeah, 20 and 12 is a nice group and hitting 63% on something.
Yes, go ahead.
As you mentioned, I was going to say, like, changing the rules. 5 years ago, these totals were all 5.5s, 5.5, random 6. Now everything is 6.5 to start. The game changes a little bit. We see in the NFL, right? The totals kind of tick up. We're going to throw the ball more. Hockey did the same kind of thing by smaller pads for the goalies and stuff like this, and you see the scoring ticks up. Hey, Doug, hats off to you. I'm 4-7 in my hockey this year so far, so I'm still trying to get my feet wet. I don't know if I want them wet because that means the ice is melting.
You get frostbite.
It was melting because that means I'm hot and I'd be 7-4, not 4-7. So they're kind of cold, and I got damp feet on cold ice right now. So
to finish off, so you mentioned I went 10-4 recently in college basketball. I had Chip mentioned he had a great day on Saturday. Well, I will say I did not have a great day on Saturday, but I came back Sunday for the week, I should say, in the NFL 4-1. So happy about that. And NBA 7-4 move on that. So just, there's some things trending all in the right direction. So look to just keep it going and get this college football thing sorted out. Just has not been my year for that. And so, hey, what can you do? Got the tournament coming up. We got all the bowl games coming up. So, and there's still 2 huge weeks. I mean, there's some great games coming up this weekend. I mean, I don't know if it'll be a great game or not, but I'm really looking forward to Indiana and Ohio State myself.
Yeah, 9.5 up to 12 now in that game.
Yep.
So, and folks, and sometimes we get a lot of comments like, "I'll just get to the picks." These are the free picks, and if you don't head over to Gamblers World, you don't know that we actually, win stuff that you actually pay for. Like the free pick video, as I said, 1-3 today. On Tuesday last week we went 1-2, 3-0 on Wednesday, 2-1 on Friday. That's all fine and dandy for free picks, but we try to tell you there's actually something a little better out there for you if you're interested. That's we got records, we win. Well, something for you to try. I don't know. Saying you have to, but you should. All right, you should do that. You'll get your free picks now. So start jabbering and playing on the comment section. Get to the picks. We'll get to the picks. We're going to start with the Sixers and Heat. Go right back to Doug here. The Sixers, the Embiid show. Questionable, probably out again today. Maxey out. 3.5-point dogs. This total was 220 last night. I woke up this morning. It's 212.5. I'm guessing. We don't like to assume because that makes an ass out of you and me. Let's be honest. Guys are probably out. Jimmy Butler was questionable. Jaime Jaquez was also questionable for Miami. What do you like in this one? I hate this is why the NBA is tricky at 1 o'clock in the afternoon for 7, 8 o'clock games. You don't know who's even playing. The line kind of tells you something, but we do our best with what's in front of us. Doug, what do you think here? Sixers Heat.
Yeah, this game kind of reminds me of like when you're walking in the park, and you're walking along, and all of a sudden you step in something where the dog did its business. Okay. And so that's kind of what I'm thinking about this game. Sixers 2-10, 3-9 against the spread, last in shooting in the NBA, last in scoring in the NBA. No Embiid except for 2 games that he kind of played a little bit here. Maxey's out, as you mentioned. Him and Paul George have played roughly half their games thus far. So nothing good there. Go to Miami. Jimmy Butler, he's 35. He's injury prone. Okay, no longer defensive stopper. This roster that they have that a few years ago got them to the finals as I think it was either a 7th or an 8th seed, I believe it was. They got to the finals.
Yeah.
But this team, that team anyways, got hot together at the right time. The problem with this team is that they have too many players with singular skills. Okay. And so some guys like Tyler Hero, great shooter when he's on, not much when he's not, doesn't play much defense, not that great. So the Heat just finished up a 2-4 road trip, 3-3 against the spread. But then the NBA, they're always trying to protect their players. Well, they didn't protect them today because this is their 3rd game in 4 days, just got home from a 6-game road trip. They played yesterday. Yeah. So to me, just creates a nightmare scenario here. So Sixers can't score. Miami is pooped, and I'm using that word purposely, they're off that long road trip, back-to-back games. So I'm going to look at, Sean mentioned the total having gone down. I'm going to look at the first half line in this one with two teams to me. One can't score. I think the other is going to be tired. In this one, teams like Philly that are playing with 2 days rest, winning less than 25% of their games, when the total is between 106 and 110.5 in the first half, the under is 29-6. So give me the under 108 for this contest.
Doug Upstone likes under 108.5. Sixers Heat first half. I like it. I actually took that too when I saw that move this morning, believe it or not. I didn't even know that until we got in there. So glad to be on the same side as that one. Chip, thoughts on this Sixer Heat game?
I think it's the only way to go, really.
I was just saying, that was 2020. They went to the bubble championship, right? 2020, the bubble titles, right?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it was.
Sorry, who can remember that far back?
I don't know. You're going to remember back to 1946 in about 15
minutes. Yeah, well, I lived those experiences. Philadelphia's won the last 3 meetings, but that is nothing compared to what's going on with these teams right now. And, you mentioned how the total has dropped. I mean, that was an incredible drop. And maybe that's because Jimmy Butler, even though his defensive skills have waned a little bit, Doug, he's returning. He's missed the last 4 games on the road. They had a 6-game road trip, like you said, to come back. Any team that's got Paul George on it, I just don't see it as being productive and a big winner. And Paul George is on the Philadelphia roster, though he hasn't played either. And I think it goes under. I don't know where's the score. Maxi's out. Where's the firepower come from? Miami's always an under team as it is. But I just don't see the big scoring coming from anywhere, particularly on Philadelphia with Embiid and Maxey out. So I'll play it under as well, Doug. I think you got the right side.
Chip Chirimbes agrees. He likes the under.
Yeah, I do.
Doug Upstone's official play under 108.5 here, first half. Sixers Heat. Again, Doug's free play, all of Doug's premium content, and his line mover articles at gamblersworld.net. Go visit. Thank you. Chip Chirimbes.
Yeah.
The Bulls and the Pistons. Boy, this is, you talk about being there and remembering good stuff. This ain't 1987, 89, and 1990 when the Bulls Pistons were a great rivalry. The Jordan rules. The Bulls, a 4.5-point underdog. Total 233.5. Literally say about the Bulls. You gave up 143 and 144 the last 2 games.
Yes.
Yikes.
I
know we're at Little Caesars Arena is where they play. Little known fact for me, folks, I've never had Little Caesars pizza. There you go. I'm 50, and I've weighed over 300 pounds.
Yeah, but you eat 4 Dominoes at a time.
50 years of my life. Never had Little Caesars. Go ahead, Chip Chirimbes.
All right. This Detroit team won 14 games all last year, and they have 7 wins and 9-5 against the number. All these young draft choices, Cunningham, particularly Cade Cunningham, are starting to really come through for them. They now have won 3 of their last 4. I got a bone to pick with these Pistons because I had them opening night, and they led against the Pacers the entire way, getting 5.5. So they got beat by 6. So I was a little soured on them, but they've really bounced back and played some good ball. JB Bickerstaff, I guess he's the reason, would you think? I mean, he's there, and all of a sudden they've already won half as many games they won the entire year last year. And, that Chicago defense, like you just said, Sean, 144 and 143 the last 2 games. I think Billy Donovan's going to have them shore up a little defense tonight. And I think this game's going to be a little bit closer. Detroit's in an unaccustomed role to being favored in one respect, and Chicago just always seems to be hurt. Every year they seem to be banged up, missing people, and same scenario again this year. But I think they might have enough to muster up and cover this number.
Chip Chirimbes coming in on the Bulls plus 4.5, and you gotta like it, right? You give up 140 something points in the NBA. Folks, that's like the teams giving up like 50, 60 plus points in the NFL. Just kind of rarity, anomaly kind of games. Even in today's NBA. Like, that's just ridiculous. So, Chip's going with the Bulls plus 4.5. I don't hate it. Doug, what are your thoughts on this? I mean,
here's something. When these teams played just a little over 7 months ago, which was the last time they played, Chicago was an 11-point favorite at Detroit.
Yep.
Okay. And now it's 15 and a half points different. No question, Cunningham, now he's healthy now. He wasn't then. Better roster than what they had. And I'll agree with the premise here that Chicago is 8-1 off a game in which they lost by 15 or more points on this one. And they lost yesterday by 36, I think it was, to Houston at home. But here's where I'm going to just differ with Chip a little bit here, is that you mentioned, 280 some points allowed. This month, Chicago, 9 games, they're giving up 127.8 points per game. They have fallen to 29th in points allowed, 29th in field goal percentage, and 27th in defensive efficiency. Detroit 4-0-1 against the spread in their last 5. Here's something. The last 74 times, a team won their last game by 10 or more points, and they're facing an opponent that played in 3 straight games that had a combined score of 235 or higher. They won that next game by 6.6 points per game on average. So I'm going to say the opposite of Chip. I'm going to say give the points with this one. But officially, the play is Chip's play. Let's keep that in mind.
Yes. Bulls plus 4.5 for Chip's official YouTube pick here on the Winner Circle channel. Now, if you want Chip's premium play, he mentioned a 17-8 run with his NFL primetime games. He's got one up tonight. Go get it, gamblersWORLD.net. Doug Upstone, a 20-12 run on the ice. He's got his cold cash winner on the ice tonight. Go get it, gamblersWORLD.net. Support us, the channel, the show, and our sponsor. Let's go. Be part of the family, people. It's Thanksgiving coming, right? You're going to have turkey. Pick up a win or two while you're at it. For me, the Pacers and the Raptors. Indiana minus 4 today, total a 233. And this team here, I was kind of high on the Pacers, but again, this is a kind of sloppy team. The defense isn't there some games. Some days it's there. You mentioned the Pistons kind of turning things on for them, right? They 14 wins last year, 7 this year. The Pacers last year against the Knicks, I'm like, I'm taking them in the playoffs, right? I know they got guys out, the Knicks, this and that, couldn't kind of get over that hump. And even this year out of the gate, 6-7, you thought maybe they'd kind of take a step forward. It hasn't really been there too much for them. 2-5 on the road, back-to-back game. They beat Doug's Heat team, or not his team, but he was talking about him. Is that all that impressive for me? I kind of want to take the Pacers. I get it. The Raptors have 2 wins. They're 2-12, folks. Just a total disaster. This is sorry, Canada. What's there to say about Canada? I got not much to say. 95 and 85 points in 2 of their last 3 games. They played a wild one versus Boston. Okay, that's what happens when you can't score 100 points, right? You come out, no one's giving you a shot, and you almost beat the Celtics. That's the NBA in a nutshell, right? You get blown out, you look terrible, and the next game you're almost beating world champions.
Yeah.
Here comes a little reality set. You're off that game. You had a day off. You're back home. You're still a bad club here. I don't expect a lot of points here. I'm going to look at a team total for Toronto under 115 points. Yes, they put up the 120 spot on the Celtics, but also that's a spot where you think the Celtics kind of play down to the competition. Maybe they win that one 130 to 101. It didn't work out that way. It was a close nail biter. I don't think that's the case here. I think we're going to see a back to the norm of team that scores 105 points a game. That the Raptors are. That's who this team is. 103, 107, 103, 107, 109. That's where you are. You give me 115 points, I'm going to go under Raptors team total 115, and it's a minus a 115 odds there. Not crazy odds either for you there. So Raptors team total under, not loving them to score tonight, but stay away from the sides. Just the total for me. Chipper.
Yeah.
Mr. Chip, what do you think on this bad boy here? What do you
here's Toronto. I'm losing 9 of the last 10, 2-12, like you said. But they're one of the better teams in the NBA to be betting on. They're 9-5 against the number. Though they are 0-8 on the road, this game at home, maybe they believe they might have a chance to actually pull out a victory. Indiana's 9-4 to the over, and I don't think they're going to. They look different to me again. Like maybe the Knicks too. Their chemistry's not quite there. Maybe Tyrese is hurting a little bit, but Indiana just doesn't seem to have that kind of it thing that they had last year at the end of the year, where you were just anticipating them coming out and really. Cleveland seems to have it this year more than the Pacers for sure. But I think I would take Toronto in the game just because they're at home. They need a win so badly. They're 1-9 in their last 10 and losing 7 straight. This is the end. They got to come up big here against Indiana, and Indiana isn't at their peak right now. So I can take the Raptors. I don't think it's anything special for sure, but I would take Toronto.
And listen, as you mentioned, they got 9 covers. A lot of these numbers are bigger numbers, though. 11, 9, 9, a lot of times on the road.
Yeah.
I get it, though, especially, losing.
Well, maybe they have a chance to win a game, I don't –
The line tells you they're going to be in it at 4.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's going to get, total-wise, I don't think it'll be that high scoring the way they are.
Right.
But, Doug, go ahead. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I agree with your general premise of what you think about the total for Toronto on this one. I don't like the game at all, and got 2 of the 6 worst defensive teams by points in the NBA. So I'm going to go with a prop, and I'm going to look at former Kansas Jayhawk Grady Dick. His points and rebounds total 22.5, which is actually 1 more than his season average. Now, for the sake of this, as I go forward, I will use his first name, not his last name, because I don't want to keep repeating it. Okay. So from that standpoint, we're going to look at Grady here. He's coming off 2 games in which he was 7 for 29 shooting. He's going up against an Indiana defense in this one. And I think that with the Pacers playing yesterday, I think, if anything, they'll be somewhat more tired. And I think that Grady will have the more motivation to do well after 2 poor games like that. And on the season, he's actually shooting 48%. So I look for Grady Dick to have a nice game, okay, and to go over 22.5 for points and assists.
Mr. Grady to go over PRA. 19 points a game, not too shabby for the youngster, second-year player. I'm looking at his numbers, this guy. The threes were not falling the last 2 days, but you know what? You get a day off. Maybe you get your legs back. We don't want too many to fall, though, because I'm looking for like a –
I actually don't think he's a great shooter. I didn't think so at Kansas. He had great shooting games, and he's having great shooting games with Toronto. But I don't think as overall, I would consider him a great shooter. I think he's more of a scorer than a shooter.
Well, here's the thing: when you're on a bad team, someone's going to take a bunch of shots. No one's going to complain, so he's getting them. He's taking the shots. Officially, I'm going team total under 115 here for the Raptors. Chip Chirimbes likes the Bulls plus 4.5 against the Pistons. Doug Upstone likes the under first half 108.5 Sixers and the Heat. Again, these are our free plays. We are 4-5-1 in the NBA the last couple of weeks here. Not the best, but these are the free picks. Head to gamblersworld.net for all of our premium content and our premium picks. Doug's line movers, Doug's hockey tonight, Chip's NFL. I have college hoops up for tonight, all at gamblersworld.net. You see the 3 7-30 packages are guaranteed. We show you a profit or we credit you back. It's Monday. Get that 7-day package. You're going to get 7 days of NFL and college football and hoops and ice, the whole kit and caboodle in the 7-day package. Now, it is Monday the 18th, which means I'll be doing a live show at 7 p.m. this evening for Monday Night Football. But I'm sure something exciting has happened in the past on this day in sports. Chip Chirimbes, tell us about it.
Well, thank you for that, Sean. November 18th, there are some significant things that have happened that have actually touched me in my life on this date. And I'll give you an example. 1975, a player by the name of Calvin Murphy out of Norwalk High School in Connecticut had his 58-game free throw streak broken. He went 58 consecutive games without missing a free throw. And by the way, when Calvin Murphy was a senior and I was a sophomore, opening game of our basketball season, we went head-to-head. And I was actually on the floor at the same time as Calvin Murphy. Of course, that was just during warm-ups because I never got in the game, and Murphy had like 45 points. And he always followed his career. No three-point shooting circle line when he was in the NBA. Otherwise, his scoring totals would have been off the charts. In 1949, Jackie Robinson got the MVP. In 1947, he was Rookie of the Year. And Jackie Robinson, again, passed on and lived in my hometown in Stamford, Connecticut. In 1951, you remember The Rifleman, the TV series? Chuck Connors was a former first baseman for the Dodgers. He played in Brooklyn. When they went out to L.A., Before he went to LA in 1951, he disputed the Major League Baseball's option to have a draft. He tried to file suit and stop the end of the Major League Baseball from doing that. He ended up going into acting and made a lot more money there. And he had more hits as an actor than he did as a player. And in 1982, you guys might remember this. This was kind of a sad day. Dooku Kim died after Ray Mancini. And in they fought 14 rounds, and that's when he got him. And that was the fight was the impetus for them changing championship bouts from 15, 14 to 12 rounds. And Dooku Kim, South Korean, died. And in 1997, Arizona and Tampa Bay were added to Major League Baseball as expansion teams. So that's it for November 18th. Not bad in 1975 to see Calvin Murphy. I
was a year old in 1975. I know Chuck Person as the rifleman from the Indiana Pacers. Yeah. And I did not want added teams in baseball.
Niagara Purple Aces?
Yes. Purple Eagles.
Purple Eagles, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
And they used to, Niagara, who was absolutely nothing, like Canisius or no school, they would be playing games in Madison Square Garden. He would fill the place up. And, everyone from Connecticut would go because he was All-American in high school as well. And he was a phenomenon. I mean, that's 5'7" for the things he did was just unbelievable.
Yep. I remember.
Yep. Crazy you went to school with that guy. I'm trying to think of any quasi-celebs that I've gone to school.
I went to Bobby Valentine and I went to school together played baseball together throughout our careers. And, in your travels, you meet a lot of different people. Some of them end up being say a lot better than you had anticipated, but we knew Valentine was going to be great from the moment from when he was 11, 12 years old. He was that dominant.
There you go.
Yeah, just
Chip Chirimbes, man amongst the stars, everybody. All right, we're going to wrap this up. Bulls plus 4.5 for Chip. Under first half, 1.5. Sixers Heat for Doug. I'm going Raptors under team total 115 tonight. Be sure to check out the live show at 7 o'clock here on the Winner Circle channel. Be back tomorrow with Chip Chirimbes and Matt Fargo. For Doug, Chip, and myself, happy Monday. Good luck in your bets, folks. Bye-bye.